Thursday.
All right, welcome in here. Madison Plains against Greenon here on this Friday night. Couple nights before Christmas here. We got about 14 minutes here on the clock before we tip it off here. I'm Zach Bayless alongside
Tyler Curtis.
There you go. Good matchup here tonight. Greenon coming in 3-3. Madison Plains 3-2. Both 2-2 in conference, correct?
Actually, Greenon is 3-0 in the conference so far. Yes, sir.
Okay. Madison Plains is 2-2. So for both teams here, we got a mixture of older and younger for Madison Plains. We've got a little bit more younger than older, but let's talk about some storylines here. Jarrett Valerie, who normally gets a good amount of playing time for Madison Plains, isn't going to be in the game tonight. As you might have known, earlier this year, he hurt his elbow, and he had to get stitches on his shooting arm, but now he sprained his ankle in Tuesday night's ball game, so a key player is going to have to come in. Freshman Ryan Ernst is going to have to come in and take his spot tonight. And Ryan, well, it's going to be a big night for this guy because Jarrett Valerie's a very good player, and he's going to have to come in and take over. So for Madison Plains here on the varsity roster, we have Chris Ernst. He's a sophomore. Ryan Ernst is the freshman that's coming in for Jarrett Valerie. Jarrett Valerie is a sophomore, but he will not be playing tonight. Jeffrey Whitman is a senior. Matthew Johnson is a sophomore. Paul Bryant, a freshman. Jacob Toops, a senior. Sebastian Razika is not going to be playing either tonight. He's out for a while with a foot injury. He's also a sophomore. Ian Richards, a senior. Spencer Razika, is a junior. Jacob Petit is a senior. And Anthony Holbrook is a sophomore. Head coach is Joe B. Stewart. This is his third season here at Madison Plains, trying to get things turned around. The first season didn't go too well. Last year, 13-10, started to turn things around a little bit. And this year, as we mentioned, 3-2 so far, trying to get things turned around. They moved to a different conference last year, and that's really boded well for them as they moved away from a Columbus conference that was just a little bit too much for them and moved into a league that they can compete a little bit more with.
Well, it's teams the same size. That's the major thing. A lot of those Columbus schools were just a lot bigger with more pickings to go from. These schools, even in football, they match up well. Same size. Here and there you might find a great, really great athlete every once in a while, but they match up well together. All the schools inside the Ohio Heritage Conference.
Yep. So let's talk about Greenon a little bit. Greenon's roster looks like Logan Shell, he's a senior. Jackson Jernell is a sophomore. Andrew Conover is a junior. Caden Rice, freshman. Mikey Duncan is a senior. Cooper Chaffin is a senior. Cameron Patterson is a junior. Trevor Anderson, senior. Logan Kopic is a senior. Luke Downing is a sophomore. Dylan Bardnell is a sophomore. And Noah Mize is a sophomore. So for Greenon here, they play a little bit of 1-3-1 zone, and that might be something that confuses Madison Plains a little bit, as they've probably seen a lot of man-to-man so far early this year.
A couple weeks ago, I believe it was when they had played, I think it was Southeastern, when they last played Southeastern here a week ago. Southeastern played them in a 3-2 zone an awful lot that game. And Madison Plains seemed to have a little bit of a trouble with it early on because Southeastern was able to move their guys around in the zone very effectively and get on defense very effectively. So, if I remember correctly, this isn't something that they've seen this year. So I'm sure it's something that they practiced on hard this week in practice.
Yeah, so for Greenon, a couple key players. They have a freshman, Cade Rice, who has got a lot of attention, but it is Trevor Anderson, their senior, who has made a lot of noise this year. Last Friday against Greenview, he scored 26 of their 46 points. Wow. And in talking to Joe Stewart before the game, he says that's one player they really got to shut down tonight.
That sounds like it. Anytime somebody can score up near 30 points in a high school basketball game, you're something special.
Yeah. So for Madison Plains, as I was talking to Coach Stewart before the game, he says the keys for tonight are extra chances. He wants to get on those offensive rebounds and get extra shots and extra opportunities for his team. He also wants his team to limit turnovers and also force the turnovers by implying pressure against Greenon, but he says that might be a struggle because his team hasn't done so well this year at applying the pressure that he hopes to see. Also for Madison Plains, he says free throws are a big deal, and they really have been for quite some time here. Free throws are key to game, and Madison Plains are going to need some if they're going to beat this Greenon team tonight.
Free throws are easy points. I mean, they're, as the name says, they're free, so you need to take them as you can get them, as many as you can get them.
That's absolutely true. So we got about 8.5 minutes here before tip-off, and like I said, really should be a good game. Kind of a sparse crowd tonight right before the holidays. Probably a lot of people getting out of town. Not as big as what they're accustomed to here at Madison Plains, but a very important game before Madison Plains heads to the Holiday Classic at Miami Trace next week after Christmas.
That's going to be a fun tournament.
Yeah. You got Greenview in that tournament again, correct?
I believe so, yes. If I remember, I think even Miami Trace is going to be in that one as well.
Miami Trace, Greenview, and London are what it normally is, but I don't know if they've added any more. Do you know about that?
I haven't heard anything about the Holiday Classic quite yet. I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out when as the night goes along. Yeah. We'll see if we can't get something.
So Madison Plains head into the locker room for a little talk, and Greenon's out here with their warm-ups off. Greenon will be wearing black tonight, Madison Plains in their home whites.
I'll tell you what, the student section's come ready for Santa to come to town.
Oh, I know. They're dressed up in their Santa costumes. We got some in their PJs, some in their Santa hats.
Even the cheerleaders are wearing flashing lights around their uniforms.
Yeah, and they got those big, nice socks on, some candy canes, some Christmas colored. Trying to get a little festive here tonight, I guess.
Well, I happened to see one of the students out in the hallway before the freshman game, and he found a tuxedo with Santa Claus all over it from Macy's.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He's even got a Santa Claus tie on. It's actually pretty sharp.
Yeah, these Christmas costumes, definitely something we love to see around here. And the last chance, I guess, for the student section to really honor that because, well, there's no more games before Christmas.
And no more school as well.
No more school.
They're off until after the first of the year.
And I'm sure they're happy. That could be a key factor, too, because I know when I was playing growing up, it was always a big deal when we didn't have school. You kind of came in a little bit sluggish sometimes because, well, you weren't up and going all day.
Exactly. So you were able to sleep in. That's a big thing. And coaches, especially when I played football on Saturdays in the playoffs, coaches would make sure that you were up early for walkthroughs around 7:30 in the morning or so to get breakfast and get moving. That way later in the afternoon you wasn't sluggish.
Yeah, so it could either go both ways for the teams. They could either come out sluggish or somebody could come out on fire and ready to play. It should be interesting to see here.
We'll find out in 6 short minutes.
Pep band, something that's very big here at Madison Plains, not here tonight, so we've just got warm-up music. Also makes it a little bit easier for us as we can hear a little bit better, right?
That's the truth.
Yeah.
But the pep band has always been a staple here at Madison Plains High School. They are the pride and joy of Eagle Country.
Yeah. I'm a Madison Plains graduate. I know you're from West Jeff. I always enjoyed having the pep band. I liked having warm-up music, but it just didn't feel a Madison Plains home game when the pep band wasn't here because growing up, Madison Plains, the pep band, coming to all the games growing up, it's just a staple, running after that fight song, hearing those certain songs being played.
Well, not just that, it's intimidating because as soon as you come out of the locker room, even in football, you come out of that locker room, it's deafening. You can't, especially in a small gym like this, it'd be hard to hear your own teammates and your coaches yell at you.
Oh yeah, it's definitely loud.
Well, I wonder how some of the teams in the north side of the division or inside the conference are doing this year. I haven't had a chance to hear much about West Jeff, even though I'm from there. I know last year was the year before was a difficult season for them. I think they had only won 1 or 2 games, so I'm hoping moving conference here bid well, or moving the leagues bid well for them.
Yeah.
They sure did in football.
And something else is very interesting. West Jeff did move leagues with Madison Plains.
Yes, they did. That was a deal.
But London, who is a big team that both teams always play, didn't move leagues. So this year, instead of playing London home and away, Madison Plains will only play them, I think it's here this year, but it's only 1 game instead of 2.
And that's
definitely something
that's a shame, because those are, even though it's a big-time rivalry and it can get nasty from the fans and the players, it's something that you always look forward to as a player, is always playing those county rivals. At West Jeff, we always loved playing London and Madison Plains. Even though we were competitively better at the time, we still loved playing the county opponents.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's taken away a little bit of the county rivalry here, but it's also a good thing that West Jeff got in there, and Madison Plains and West Jeff are able to play a little bit.
Well, that always makes for an interesting matchup all the time. A couple years ago in football, Madison Plains, for the first time in a while, gave West Jeff a run for their money. It was like 52-13 or something like that.
Yeah. So just about over 3 minutes to go here before this game tips off. Little Johnny Cash going on in the background.
Well, I'll tell you what, when we traveled with the football team over to Greenon this year, what I found really interesting was that Greenon, their football team, walked out onto the field instead of the band playing their fight song was Hank Williams Jr., A Country Boy Can Survive.
Yeah.
How would you feel being on the opposing side of that?
Well, as a player, I never really cared about the other team. To be honest, I gave them death stares when they came out. That's just me. There are certainly some things that are more intimidating than other things when a team walks out. But I know one year here at Madison Plains, and even in football, they're accustomed to playing the fight song and coming out. They played Johnny Cash when they came out, and it was quite different. I don't know if so many people liked it, but it's what the football players wanted, and at the end of the day, what the players want is what they get, They're the ones playing the game, not the alumni.
Same with the basketball team, no doubt about that.
So we're going to pause here and listen to an ad from our sponsor.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest-growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
All right, we're back here. We got about a minute and 30 left here before we hear the good old sportsmanship speech, hear the Star Spangled Banner, and hear the starting lineups introduced. Right now, both teams heading to their benches, getting ready to get a talk here. So we will take a break here in the action and let you pick up on whatever the crowd noise has for you as we're going to hear the sportsmanship speech, Star Spangled Banner, and introduce the starting lineups.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Madison Plains High School for tonight's varsity boys basketball game between Greenon and Madison Plains. At this time, we ask that you please rise for the playing of our national anthem. At this time, we would like to first introduce the cheerleaders from our visiting team, the Greenon Knights. First is Live Weaver, Montana Asa, Lexi Lusk, Emma Stanton, Katie Root, Madeline Odell, Millie Weaver, and Madison Smith. And now for the Golden Eagles. First cheerleaders, Miss Marissa Ham, Caitlin Seymour, Abby Alley, Auburn Pierce, and Carmen Davis. And now the starters for the Greenon Knights. Number 10, Kay Rice. 22, Cooper Chafin. 24, Trevor Anderson. 34, Logan Coppin. And number 35, Luke Downing. And now for your Madison Flames Golden Eagles, number 22, Jeffrey Whitman.
All right, so we're back here for Greenon. The starters look like Cade Rice, number 10. He's a freshman. We've got Cooper Chaffin, number 22, senior. Trevor Anderson, number 24, is a senior. Logan Kopic, 34, is a senior. And Luke Downing is a sophomore, excuse me. For Madison Plains, we've got...
Well, you got Jeffrey Whitman here. He's the senior. Matt Johnson, he's a sophomore. Jacob Tubes, a senior. Ian Richards, he's a senior. And Anthony Holbrook, a sophomore, starters for Madison Plains this evening.
So both teams embracing at half court, and we're going to get ready to get this thing tipped off. The opening tip is up and controlled by Greenon. Rice has the ball here at the near side wing. Down into the post, across to the opposite side wing. Anderson with the ball, gets a ball screen. Now he's going to give it up to the near side corner, down to the post, and they're going to call a foul on Madison Plains. That's going to be Holbrook picking up his first.
Going to foul number 52, Anthony Holbrook, his first, team first.
Greenon moving the ball around pretty well.
Yes, they're going to take it out of bounds on the far side. And here's a pass right down into the post. Nobody picked him up. That is going to be Luke Downing, and he's going to head to the free throw line for a pair.
Foul number 42, Ian Richards, his first, team second.
Luke Downing headed to the line. And the first one touches every part of the right rim and bounces in. Greenon's on the board first. The second free throw is up, and that one rattles around. Greenon's up 2-0, 7:44 here in the first quarter. Here's Matt Johnson, going to drive to his right, kick to the corner to Whitman. Whitman driving to the lane, puts up a wild left-hand shot. It's left short, rebounded by Greenon. Up the opposite side of the court is Greenon with the basketball. That's going to be Chaffin. He gives it out to the top, the key to Rice. He tees up a three, no good. Rebound brought down by Ian Richardson. Here come the Eagles up the right side of the court. Matthew Johnson kicks to the corner to Whitman. Whitman picks it up, back to Johnson at the near side wing. Johnson does a little move, gives off to Richardson. He drives to the hole, dishes off to Holbrook, but it's right through his hands and over to Greenon. Here comes Anderson. He gives it off to Rice up the near side. He makes a move, gives it back to the top of the key. Greenon setting up their offense. Over to the near side wing. Here's Rice with the basketball down into the post. And making a move and putting it up with a right-hand hook is Luke Downing. Greenon 4-0 here, just under 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Matthew Johnson with the ball in the near side wing. Greenon goes to a zone. Here's Whitman, near side corner driving. Tries to pump fake, nothing going, gives it off to the opposite side to Toops. Here's Holbrook in the post. And he's going to put a shot up contested, and it's no good, but he follows a shot, gets his own rebound, and he throws it to the opposite side corner to Toops. Here's the top of the key, a three by Johnson. That's too strong. Rebound brought down Greenon. Here comes Rice up the far sideline. Rice crossing over, trying to make a move, gives it off to Anderson, to the wing. Here's Cooper with a jump shot, and Kopic, and that's no good. Here's Whitman with the ball at the top of the key, gives it off to Johnson on the near side wing. Johnson setting up a play against this zone, 1-3-1. And he kicks it to the opposite side corner to Whitman. Whitman tees up a three, and it rattles in and out. Here comes Greenon as they nearly lose the ball out of bounds. Rice driving up the near side, and he's going to drive baseline and loses it to Jeffrey Whitman, and here come the Eagles. Whitman coming up the near side. He's going to pull up, read this zone, set something up. Give it to the opposite side of Toops. Back over, skip pass to Whitman. Whitman thinks about a three, but he's going to take a mid-range jumper at the free throw line instead. No good. Rebound brought down Greenon. Here comes Rice. He's going to kick all the way ahead, and it's through the hands of a Greenon player and out of bounds, and it will head back over to Madison Plains. That was Logan Kopic, who couldn't come up with the catch.
Yeah, Madison Plains got to start getting some better shots here.
Yeah, they're looking a little phased by this zone that Greenon's run. Not a whole lot going on. Whitman with the ball in the near side corner, gives it off to Johnson. Johnson gives it off to the corner to Richardson. Skip pass to Whitman, wide open three, and it's left short, but it's going to be off the hands of a Greenon defender and will remain here with Madison Plains. Johnson will take it out underneath. And he tries to throw it in bounds to Holbrook, but nobody was there. Here comes Rice, and he slams it home.
Wow. You don't see that very much from a high schooler.
The freshman Rice just slams it home. Here's Madison Plains with the ball. Johnson, skip pass over to Whitman on the far side. Back over to Johnson. He gets it down the post to Richardson. Richardson's doubled. He kicks it over to Johnson, and it's knocked out of bounds by Rice. And Rice is getting a little testy with Madison Plains.
He's pumped up from that dunk.
Yeah.
A freshman.
Yeah. Here's Whitman off the inbounds on the near side wing. Madison Plains staying stagnant, not moving around much. Here's a kick to the corner to Toops. Hilty went up from deep, and it's no good. Rebound brought down by Greenon. Here's Rice up the far side. Rice will pull up and give it to the corner. Here's a drive by Chaffin, but it's stolen by Whitman for Madison Plains. Whitman trying to corral the ball, and he does. Now he gives it off to Johnson on the far side. Johnson skip pass over to Whitman. Whitman thinks about pulling up and tries to kick it over to the corner, but it's knocked out of bounds off Chaffin. Chaffin supporting the old He's got a nice hairdo going on there. So here's the Eagles. Toops with the ball in the corner over the top, the key to Johnson. He'll have a wide open three, but it's off the right and will bounce out of bounds. Greenon's taking over with the ball.
Chaffin supporting the 80s is what he's doing.
Yeah, he's got that mullet going on. That's the word I was looking for right there. Anderson bringing the ball up the court for Greenon. He says thumbs up. Gives it off to the free throw line, hands off right back to him. He loses his dribble, gives it off to Kopic. Kopic down the post and putting it up and blocked over to Madison Plains. Here's Whitman bringing it up the near side. And a pass tried to make down low. Whitman tried to throw it down low to Holbrook, but it was kicked. So we'll remain here with Madison Plains.
Zach, we're 4.5 minutes into this bad boy. Madison Plains is still off the board.
Yeah, 3:28 here to go. Greenon up 6-0. Here's Toops with the ball at the top of the key. Gives it off to Whitman on the far side wing. Whitman back over to Toops, over to the corner. And Johnson's going to have a wide open three, but it's way too strong, and it comes up with nothing but air. Rebound was brought down by Rice for Greenon. He's got a few rebounds already in this ball game. So Rice gets the ball screen at the top of the key. Madison Plains hedges. Rice in trouble, but he's okay now. Driving baseline. Rice gives it off to Kopic over the top of the key to Johnson. Here's Rice with the ball at the near side wing. Gives it down the post. Good defense by Madison Plains. And diving on the floor for the ball is Toops. And he loses it out of bounds.
Very aggressive play for basketball right there.
Yeah. Toops wasn't too happy when he was down there on the ground, but they're going to call a foul actually on Greenon. We'll see who that one was on. Looks to be on Logan Kopic. That'll be his first foul, and it'll remain with Madison Plains. So Toops was actually pushed out of bounds by Kopic here. Here's Whitman on the far side. Picks up his dribble. Goes into the corner to Richardson. Richardson over skip pass to Johnson. Johnson driving to the middle of the lane, puts up a shot, and it's left too short. He tries to follow, but it's stripped by Greenon. Downing comes away with the rebound. Here's a kick ahead. And a foul is called on Johnson of Madison Plains. Andrew Conover just entered the ball game for Greenon. He was the one who drew the foul on Johnson. So a sub here for Madison Plains. This is who we talked about, Ryan Ernst, who's going to be playing in place of Jarrett Valley tonight. He enters the ball game, and to the bench goes Matthew Johnson.
Valuable playing time for the young guy.
Yep. Here's the inbound to Conover. Conover with the ball on the top of the key. Defended by Jacob Toops. And Toops just slips and picks his pocket, but it's lost off the referee. Madison Plains might have had a wide open layup attempt there, but the referee got in the way. Here's Whitman, gives it off to Ernst on the far side. Ernst tries to throw it over to Whitman, and it's deflected, but Whitman comes right back up with it, kicks it to the near side corner to to Richardson. Over to the far side to Toops. That three is no good. Boy, Madison Plains jacking up a lot of threes, coming away with nothing here so far. Under 2 minutes to go, Greenon up here 6. Here's a wide open three by Anderson in the corner. That's too strong, catches nothing but air. And Toops on the ground again, but it goes out of bounds off him as there's a little bit more chippiness. Conover and Toops get into it a little bit. The fans don't like it, neither do the players. Both teams a little testy here so far.
Greenon's playing some pretty testy defense as well.
Yeah, here's Downing driving to the basket, goes down to the post, and put up the shot as Greenon, no good. Rebound brought down by Whitman. Here comes Ernst up the near sideline. Give it to the top of the key to Whitman. Whitman pulls it out after driving, and they'll throw it over to Ernst. Ernst throws it to the near side corner to Richardson. Richardson skip pass to Whitman. Whitman tees up a three from deep, and it rattles around, no good. Rebound brought down by Anderson for Greenon. Anderson bringing the ball up, defended by the freshman Ernst. And he crosses over, goes right to the basket, and a kick to the corner to Conover. He'll drive, kick to the free throw line to Downing. Downing nearly gets it stripped by Rizika, and he gets it tipped from behind by Rizika. And it'll stay here with Greenon as it goes out of bounds. Rice will check back into the ball game. He'll come in for Chaffin.
Madison Plains in their own rights playing some very chippy defense as well tonight.
Yeah. So here's Conover at the free throw line. He'll pull up right over an MP defender. It's no good. Spencer Rizika goes up to get the rebound, and they're going to call an over the back on Greenon. We'll see who the foul was called on.
Lights foul number 34, Logan Kopic, his first team break.
That was Logan Kopic who picked up the foul.
The second.
And I think they have a mistake there, as Kopic's not even in the ball game. So here's a pass to the corner, and it's out of bounds. Madison Plains turns it over. That was Ryan Ernst. So 54.1 seconds. Madison Plains still hasn't had a basket here. 6-0 Greenon. Rice will bring the ball up the court. Gets a ball screen near half court. And he'll get it back in the corner. Pump fake, drive to the basket, and he's fouled by Spencer Rizika. He'll head to the free throw line.
That's 14 fouls now for Madison Plains.
Yeah. 14 fouls for Madison Plains, 2 for Greenon as Rice gets ready to shoot the first one here at the free throw line, and he leaves it short. There's a sub here for Greenon. Kopic will come in for Downing. They did correct that foul earlier. It wasn't on Kopic. We'll let you know who it was actually given to. And the second free throw is good by Rice. So it's 7-0 with 35 seconds to go, 38 seconds to go here. Ryan Ernst with the ball. We'll see if Madison Plains holds for the last shot. Here's a pass tried to go to the corner to Whitman, but it was deflected out of bounds off Greenon.
I believe that foul was on the sophomore Luke Downing.
Yeah, I think that's who they did give the foul to. So Whitman will take it out of bounds on the side. Gives it up to Ernst. Ernst with the ball picks up his dribble. No one to throw it to, and he'll give it off to Toops. 22 seconds left to go here. Ernst to the corner to Whitman. Whitman picks his dribble up, gives it down low to Richardson, who puts it up but comes up with nothing but air. Coach Stewart wants a foul from Madison Plains, but Greenon will have the last shot here. Down to 6 seconds. Rice pulls up from the near side wing for three, rattles out. Rebound Greenon. Conover kicks it out to Anderson, and he doesn't even realize the game clock was expiring, and they don't get up a second shot. So after one here, 7-0 Greenon on top of Madison Plains.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-ACU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
Back here at Madison Plains, getting ready to start the second quarter. Greenon was all over Madison Plains in the first quarter, 7-0, but both teams playing really good defense so far.
They sure are. I think the key for Madison Plains coming in on the offensive side here to try to generate some points on that side of the floor is they have to be able to break that 1-3-1 to get inside.
Yeah.
That's the only way that they're going to be able to get some points here.
Yeah,
their outside the arc shooting's just not on right at the moment.
Yeah, we talked about it before the game. Coach Stewart said that they might struggle against this 1-3-1, and defense was really going to have to make their living tonight. So far, they're playing good defense, but nothing's resulting on the offensive end. Madison Plains will have the ball here to start the second. Matthew Johnson with the ball at the top of the key. Greenon goes man-to-man for the first time tonight. Here's a drive and a kick, but it's stolen by Rice.
That's the end of the dunk.
Rice driving, puts it up, and off the backboard, good. Here comes Johnson for the Eagles, pushing it up, gives it off to Whitman. He'll get a three-point attempt, and that's no good. Rebound brought down by Toops. He puts it up, and that one won't go. Rebound brought down Holbrook from Madison Plains. That one also won't go. Madison Plains will get another rebound. Holbrook brings it down again, and they'll kick it out to Johnson to set something up. Greenon's still here in the man. Drive to the basket, but they're going to call a foul on Conover for Greenon. That's going to be their fourth team foul, so both teams knotted at 4 apiece here. 3 to go for both for the bonus. Here's Whitman, inbounds to Toops in the near side corner. Toops gives it off to Johnson. Greenon still going man here. Drive to the corner by Johnson, kicks it over to Toops, back over to Whitman on the far side wing. Whitman driving to his right. Greenon playing pretty good defense. He'll kick to the corner to Toops. Toops drives all the way to the middle, throws up a lefty shot. That's no good. Rebound Holbrook again. He puts it up. That's no good. Madison Plains will come back with another rebound. That's Razika. Madison Plains really pounding the boards here to start this second quarter. Just shots aren't falling for him.
Ian Richards and Holbrook both this evening have quite a few rebounds.
And they're going to call a foul on the freshman Rice down low as him and Toops are exchanging words. And things getting a little chippy. We said before they were getting chippy. And Rice isn't backing down, though.
It's pretty impressive for a freshman. Holding his own with the big guys.
Yeah, so far he's got most of Greenon's points. He's got 5 of their 9. Madison Plains still with a goose egg looking to get on the board. Here's Johnson with the ball, setting something up. Greenon showing man. Johnson driving to his right behind the back. He breaks his own ankles, but gives it off to Whitman. Here's Whitman with the ball in the near side wing. A lot of standing around for Madison Plains. Whitman drives, throws up a wild right-hand shot. No good. Rebound brought down by Kopic for Greenon. Here comes Rice. gives it off to Conover here on the near sideline to the corner, Anderson. Anderson looks down low to Kopic, and there's going to be a foul called on Holbrook as he was trying to deny the pass. We got too physical.
It's a second.
That's going to be Holbrook's second, correct. We'll see what Coach Stewart does here if he decides to send him to the bench. We got a sub here for Greenon. Jackson Jornell checking in the game for Anderson.
And Richards coming in as well for Holbrook.
Yeah. So some good minutes for Holbrook there as he came away with about 3 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. He's got quite a bit of rebounds, but as we said, Madison Plains still held scoreless here. 6:13 here in the second quarter. If you're just joining us, Greenon up 9-0. Another sub for Greenon. Chaffin will
I
check
believe
in.
that was a forced sub by the referees. I'm not sure what for.
Yeah. So Chaffin will check back in. Greenon inbounds it. Here's Kopic in the near side corner. Kopic to the top of the key to Chaffin. Chaffin driving left, gives it off to Conover. He'll tee up a 3 from the wing, and that's nothing but net. 12-0 here, and Madison Plains is going to call a 30-second timeout to cool things down.
Yeah, Madison Plains really has to get some composure here and start making something happen on the offensive side of the board. That way this don't get out of hand for them. They're very much in the ball game right at the moment. They're playing great defense. Both teams are playing great defense tonight. Very physical.
Yeah. Madison Plains actually just completely confused by this Greenon's defense. They were start off in a 1-3-1. Now they're going back to man, and it's just got them all confused. A lot of standing around for Madison Plains. Much more moving for Greenon, though.
That's right. I mean, and then that's why Greenon's able to generate some points. They're able to kick the ball around to get to the open man.
So Madison Plains will have it here in the backcourt on the near sideline. 6 minutes here in the second quarter. Greenon up 12-0. Madison Plains shot a lot of threes so far. Nothing falling, even inside on offensive rebounds. Here's Toops on the far side wing. Greenon back in their 1-3-1 zone. Johnson kicks it over to Toops. He'll get a wide open 3 opportunity, and it nearly banks it in, but it bounces out. Greenon coming back with the ball. Here's Chaffin up the far side. Gives it over to Conover. He's backing down Ruzicka. Over to Kopic in the post. He'll put up a jump shot, and that's good. So Madison Plains coming back. Johnson with the ball. Gives it off to the corner to Whitman. Whitman going over. And a pass down the post to Ruzicka. He'll put it up, and Madison Plains' first bucket comes with 5:17 in the second quarter by Spencer Ruzicka. 14-2 here, just over 5 to go in the second quarter. Madison Plains down to Greenon. Here's Conover. He'll tee one up with a man all in his face and just nails it. Wow, that guy was all in his face, and he still puts it in. Whitman, near side corner to Madison Plains. Gives it over to a wide open Richardson down low, and he misses the layup. Rebound brought down by Chaffin for Greenon. He nearly traveled, and that's what the fans want. That was close. Yeah. So here's Conover. Gives it off to Jornell. Over back to Conover on the far side wing. He's driving to the free throw line. Gives it up to Kopic. Kopic driving, stripped by Ruzicka. He's going to have a layup opportunity here, but a Greenon defender, Chaffin, comes over, strips him. Both him and Whitman dive on the floor, and a jump ball is called as both players help each other up.
Madison Plains ball. Possession area their direction.
Good hustle there by both of them. Actually, it's going to go to Greenon. Madison Plains was a little confused by it. They better get back here. Yes, so Madison Plains is going to pick up here on a man-to-man press, it looks like. Here comes Greenon with the ball. They break the press. Conover with the ball, and he is stripped, but it goes out of bounds off Whitman.
Very physical ball game going on here at Madison Plains.
Yeah. So Greenon gets their sideline out of bounds play set up. Madison Plains defends well. Here's a pass to Conover, near side wing, driving baseline. Skip pass over to Chaffin. He's driving, and he's fouled by Johnson as he tries to throw up a shot, but they're going to say it's on the floor. That's going to be Madison Plains' 16th foul, so they're not in the bonus yet. One more, and they will be in the bonus. 17-2 here, 4:06 to go here in the second quarter. Greenon on top of Madison Plains. Greenon inbounds to Jornell. Jornell driving, kicks it over to Conover on the near side. Conover, top the key to Kopic. He's driving, kicks over to Jernell. Jernell back to the top of the key, over to the wing. Down in the post now. And here's a nice move and a righty hook shot, no good for Greenon. Spencer Ruzicka rips the rebound down. Here comes Johnson up the near sideline. He'll skip it over to Toops. Toops over the corner to Whitman. He'll jack up a three. That's too strong. Madison Plains keeps it alive again. Back tip by Ruzicka out to Johnson, and here's Whitman driving to the basket. Throws up a crazy shot, and it's tipped out of bounds, but will stay with Madison Plains.
It's like the ghost of Christmas past is in the building tonight for Madison Plains.
Yeah.
He's knocking everything out of that bucket.
Yeah, there's a big old seal on that basket. Nothing's really going in for it.
No doubt about it.
Here's a sub for Greenon. Anderson will check back in the ballgame after getting most of this quarter to rest. He comes in for Conover. Here's a pass to the corner. Ruzicka. He'll throw it to the wing to Whitman. That one nearly goes down but bounces out. Down with the rebounds, Kopic and Greenon. Jernell bringing the ball up the court for Greenon. Just over 3 minutes to go here, 17-2, Greenon on top of Madison Plains. Anderson, near side wing, being harassed by Whitman. And they're going to call a foul on Whitman. He can't believe it. That's going to be the 7th team foul on Madison Plains. And Greenon will go to the line for the 1-and-1. Sub for Greenon, Chaffin will head to the bench. And in for him is Mikey Duncan. So Madison Plains is going to call a timeout here as Greenon prepares for the 1-and-1. 17-2 if you're just joining us. Greenon, really Madison Plains is playing pretty good defense, and they're just not being able to hit shots on their end.
Well, it's tough when balls decide that they want to rattle in and out of the rim. That's just the nature of the game. Sometimes it happens like that. They've had open shots. They've even tried to make some tough shots down on the inside. It's just they're not falling for them.
Yeah.
Greenon's starting to get on a little bit of a groove here on offensive well. They've hit a couple threes. Was able to drive the basket as well and put in some on the inside. So Madison Plains really has to start hoping to really hoping that they start falling for them.
Yeah, but really for Madison Plains, not really good offense so far. They've just been standing around, and really, as we said, they're being confused by this Greenon defense who keeps switching back and forth between a man and a zone. So here's Anderson on his first free throw, and that's nothing but net. And as the fans try to make noise, they do distract Anderson. And the rebound's picked up by Madison Plains as Anderson misses the free throw. That was Jacob Toops with the rebound. Here's Johnson up the near side. Greenon in that 1-3-1 zone. Toops on the far side wing kicks over the corner to Whitman. Here's Spencer Ruzicka, short corner jumper. That's too strong. Rebound brought down by Downing for Greenon. Here comes Jernell up the far sideline. Jernell stops, picks up his dribble, and he's being harassed by Whitman, but Whitman deflects it and he gets his dribble back. Here's a wide open three-point attempt, but he loses the ball and picked up on the ground. Both teams will get a jump ball and possession arrow will go to Madison Plains. That was Mikey Duncan who lost the ball. He had a wide open three-point attempt, but it just slipped out of his hands and Madison Plains jumped on it. Ian Richardson, and a jump ball going back towards Madison Plains' way.
This is going to be a big possession for Madison Plains under 3 minutes here in the half.
They've got to get some momentum here to go into halftime feeling confident. Here's Johnson, kick to the corner to Toops. Over to the opposite side corner to Whitman. Whitman tries to get in the gap, kicks open, wide open three-point attempt by Ruzicka and nails it. That's the first three of the night for Madison Plains. They've been firing them up, but none of them's going in. Hopefully they can get things going on their part. Opposite side corner is Anderson. Gives it over to Downing. He's driving baseline, and a back tip by Ruzicka saves a wide open layup, but here's a three-point attempt at the top of the key. No good. That was Jernell. Rebound brought down by Toops.
An extra player.
Yeah, Ruzicka's bent over at the knees. I think he took an elbow. And he's bent over. We'll see here if they send a sub in for him. So
Nothing wrong with that. Take a break and get your breath.
Yeah, Holbrook will check back in. He went to the bench earlier in this second quarter because he was in foul trouble. But with 1:48, Coach Stewart's going to put him back in. 18-5, Greenon on top of Madison Plains.
Holbrook's going to need to be careful here with 2 fouls. He doesn't want to go into halftime with 3.
Whitman walking the ball up for MP. Here's a kick to the corner to Toops. Toops kicks to the free throw line to Richardson. Out to the top of the key, Whitman. Whitman tees one up. That's off to the left, but it's brought down by Downing for Greenon, and he's fouled, so he'll head to the free throw line. Boy, both teams really aggressive here after loose balls, but Madison Plains is only helping Greenon out by fouling and sending him to the free throw line here in the bonus.
It sure seems like it. 3 easy points for Greenon. They'll take them.
So after a short break for Rosica, he'll check back in for Holbrook. Perhaps Coach Stewart saving Holbrook with his 2 fouls here. Everything seems to be okay for Rosica. So at the free throw line, the first one is too strong for Downing, and the rebound tipped around, corralled by Greenon. Here's a kick to the opposite side corner. Wide open 3 by Duncan. That one rattles out, and Greenon is called for over the back. That was Ian Richardson boxing his man out, and over the back went Greenon, and will go the other way at the basketball.
That's Logan Kopic.
So Logan Kopic will pick up, that's his second foul. He'll head to the bench. Chaffin comes in, and also into the game is Dylan Bardnell.
Sophomores for Greenon getting a lot of playing time this evening.
Yes, they are. Here's Johnson with the ball. He kicks it over to Whitman on the near side. Greenon still in this 1-3-1 zone. Just over a minute to go here in this second quarter. Try to pass it down low. It's off the backboard, and Greenon comes away with it. Here comes Anderson. Anderson checks the clock, and he's going to pull up to milk this thing down a little bit. He gives it off to Duncan, but not before Greenon calls a timeout to talk about the rest of this half play.
30-second timeout.
It'll be a 30-second timeout here as both teams head to their bench and talk things over.
I really found it surprising on the offensive side for Madison Plains. I haven't seen anybody try to set up any kind of picks. I mean, no pick and rolls this evening to try to set up a drive onto the inside.
Yeah, Madison Plains, as we said, just kind of standing around on offense and being confused by this Greenon defense. Greenon really, you got to give credit to Greenon. They came in here and they brought the pressure. You could tell from the opening tip, they're a chippy team, and they're going to come in here on this road environment a couple days before Christmas, and they're not backing down.
Not at all, especially the young guys. Cade Rice, for Greenon, who I'm really impressed with so far to start this game. He's holding his own with the big guys.
Yeah. Greenon will take it out here on the near sideline. Inbound is to Andrew Conover. Conover will give it off to Chaffin on the far side. Back to Anderson at the top of the key. Under 45 seconds to go here. Here's Conover with the ball driving, and he loses it. Johnson will pick it up, jumps over a defender. He's bringing it down the court. And Madison Plains has nothing on the fast break, but Johnson will pull up for a wide open 3, and he gets it. That's the second three-pointer made by Madison Plains tonight, and Johnson's first of the night after he struggled from behind the arc. Less than 20 seconds here to go, 18-8, Greenon on top of Plains, second quarter. Chaffin with the ball here. Greenon's just going to hold for the last shot, it looks like. Anderson here at the top of the key with the ball. Under 7 seconds to go here. Top the key. Conover gets a wide open 3 off an elevator screen. He misses it. Rebound brought down by Greenon.
There's a technical foul on Whitman.
So things getting chippy as an altercation between Conover and Whitman happened at half court on the shot. But Chaffin put that shot in with 0.8 seconds left, and Conover is laying out at half court. We'll see what everything is assessed here after the shot.
Yeah, Jeffrey Whitman definitely slammed him in the middle of the court.
So Whitman was walked over to the bench by Stewart as both teams head to the benches. And good for Conover, he gets up to an applause by this crowd.
Well, things have been boiling up to a point like this.
Yeah, and of course, we don't know what's being said on the court. We can only see actions, but obviously something there really upset Whitman.
Oh, for sure.
And Anderson...
But you can't lose your composure like that.
So he might cost his team. We'll see what is assessed here. I'd imagine a double technical ejection for Whitman, and that would also force him to miss 2 more games.
Yes, it would. And it also gives the possession back to Greenon for a couple more points before halftime.
And Anderson for Greenon is over talking to the referees. He was talking to him, probably explaining, I'd imagine, what's going on between the lines that the referees aren't seeing. So there is a technical being assessed.
Looks like they're only going to give him 1 technical foul.
So Anderson goes to the free throw line. The first one's too long. 20-8 here, 0.8 seconds left. Technical free throw being shot by Greenon. And that one rolls around. And boy, Christmas is coming early for Greenon on that free throw.
Wow.
Yeah. That thing touched every part of the rim.
How many times did that go around?
It took about 3 to 4 times rolling around, and it nearly rolled out, but it goes down. So 0.8 seconds here, Greenon up 21-8. We'll see what Greenon has set up. They're going to have to shoot it quickly if they want to get a shot off.
Now looking down on the bench, Zach, it looks like Whitman might have a bloody nose. I can't really tell from here.
Chaffin inbounding for Greenon. He throws it to Anderson, and Anderson hoists one up, and it hits the top of the backboard, no good. So at halftime, the score 21-8. Greenon over Madison Plains here as both teams head to the locker room. It's been a defensive battle this whole game, but for Greenon, they've really got some shots to go, whereas Madison Plains just can't buy anything, really.
Well, like we said before, it's a matter of the game. They've had a lot of them that have been halfway down and pop right back out. So, again, I mean, that's just the way of the game. But here, toward the end of the half, it seems like Madison Plains is finally starting to find some open shots. And a couple of them will win, especially a couple big threes. But as far as Greenon goes, they've really started to pick up the pace in the scoring and have pulled away from Madison Plains here.
Yeah, so for Madison Plains, the only 2 people that made points for him are 44 Spencer Rizika and the sophomore Matthew Johnson. Spencer Rizika hit a 3-pointer, as did Johnson. Rizika also got one to go in traffic down low, but for Greenon, their leading scorer is Chase Rice, and followed behind that is Trevor Anderson with 2, Cooper Chaffin with 2, and Luke Downing with 4. Am I missing any here, Tyler?
Actually, it looks like we got Andrew Conover. He nailed a couple threes here in the second quarter.
Yeah, and if you missed it, we saw good action right from the tip as really early in the first quarter, Cade Rice, the freshman for Greenon, slammed one home. It's been a long time since we've seen a slam dunk here at Madison Plains.
It's a freshman.
It's a freshman.
That's the amazing thing of it, is it was a freshman who drove one home like that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it's not like he's 6'7" or anything. I would say, what do you got on him? You got his height there?
I think it's on the roster sheet that we've got over here. He's got to be at least 5'11", 6 foot even.
Yeah, he's right hovering around there in the 6 foot area. So it's definitely impressive. He leads them in scoring, and he's really been their key cog here. Anderson's also, as we mentioned in the pregame broadcast, he was the one that scored 26 out of their 46 points at Greenview last Friday night, but he's only got 2 here, as really both teams we said were going to struggle. We'll take a break, and we'll come back here to talk a little bit more about the first half.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest-growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
Back here at Madison Plains at the half, 21-8 here. We've got about a little under 7.5 minutes to go before the first half. Tyler, what did you see there in the first half by both teams?
First of all, it's the aggressiveness from both teams. We've seen it here at midcourt here toward the end of the first half when when Jeffrey Whitman got tangled up there with Andrew Kahn over, and there was a little, altercation in the middle of the court that led to a technical foul on Whitman. And I think that just shows the frustration that both teams are showing here this evening, and the chippiness and the aggressiveness that both teams are showing this evening. It's basketball. This is basketball the way that, I shouldn't say it should be played, but it makes for exciting basketball, to say the least. Obviously absent from this building is the scoring from Madison Plains. Greenon decided to turn it on there in the second quarter for scoring. One other thing that sticks out to me is Anthony Holbrook getting 3 fouls there in the first half. That's going to limit him quite a bit here in the second half. That's going to be a valuable rebounding man that Madison Plains is going to need in the second half.
Yeah, and he came in there in the first half, and despite picking up 3 fouls, boy, he was really big to getting them some offensive rebounds. But for Madison Plains, we mentioned nothing's going down for them. In the second half for Madison Plains, what do they have to do to get things going?
They have to get down inside near the bucket. They shot, I don't have a track of it here, but I think that they'd be willing to, they probably shot around 10 3-pointers here to start the game. They're just not falling, so you have to break out 1-3-1 by driving right down the middle. Get the ball behind that third man in the middle and lay it in.
Yeah, so Greenon, as we said, bouncing back and forth between both defenses. They did a good job switching defenses up, but ultimately it's been the 1-3-1 they've relied heavy on tonight.
And it's worked well for them, very well. It's Madison Plains just looks confused on who to get the ball to on the offensive side of the board.
Greenon really contesting everything down low. When Madison Plains does get it down low, there's 3-4 players coming. There's a point of emphasis on Greenon's side to keep the ball out of the paint, and they're choosing to give up some contested threes rather than in the paint give up wide open looks down there. And Madison Plains, if they want to come get back in this game, they're going to have to make some shots. And defense has been there, but they're going to have to come out here, get things moving on offense, and really get their momentum going right out of half here. We don't know if Jeffrey Whitman was assessed 2 technical fouls or not, but I'd imagine Coach Stewart, being the coach he is, he's going to sit Whitman for a little bit just to make a statement that we can't lose control, because you got to know Madison Plains has got more. This is early in the season. They've got more this season. They're going to need Whitman because he's one of their better players and a starter for Madison Plains.
Well, he's a senior. In the last game that we actually came to for Madison Plains, he was on fire with the 3-ball. If I remember right from that game, he nailed probably 4 or 5 or 6 of them. So I really do think Coach Stewart's going to keep him on the bench at least for a little bit. First of all, let him cool his head. That's what happened at the middle of the court was just pure frustration on his part.
Yeah.
So, but you're right. As a senior, they're going to need his leadership to pull them back into this thing, because they are not out of it. But if you're Greenon, you're really happy to be able to come out of that one with a 13-point lead heading into the half.
Right. And for Whitman, if he does get to stay in this game, as we think it's only 1 technical foul was assessed, if he does get to stay in this game, he's very, very, very lucky. I don't think the refs really caught the full impact of what happened there, as it was kind of at half court and all the action was down towards the rim.
It seems like, especially in high school, that these referees do understand that the emotions run high, especially in games like this when they're really chippy like this. After all, they are boys. Yeah. But, you hope a little bit of coaching can calm them down and teach them that, hey, you can't lose your composure. This is the right way that we have to go about our business.
And I think Coach Stewart did a really good job of going out there and getting Whitman after it happened.
He was right out there on the court as soon as right after it happened.
Yeah, to save him from any further actions, because Greenon, well, the rest of their team didn't like that as well. We mentioned earlier, a lot of the whole team for Greenon and Madison Plains was talking back and forth between each other. So if some talking would have happened and Coach Stewart didn't go out there to get Whitman, who knows what else would have happened. So a good job acting on his part, as Greenon's been out here shooting at halftime for a while, where Madison Plains is just coming out here.
I think Coach Stewart was in the locker room giving these guys a pep talk, telling them to keep their composure here. Whitman's out on the court getting some workout in, so I think he's still in the game.
Yeah, as we mentioned, storylines here early in this game. One of Madison Plains' key players, Jarrett Valerie, isn't playing tonight. He's dealt he's dealt earlier this year with some problems with his elbows. He had to get stitches on his shooting arm, but he played through that. However, the other night against Greenview on Tuesday, he sprained his ankle, and he looks to be out for at least a week or two. But good thing they have the holidays coming up so he can get some rest. But replacing him tonight is a freshman, Ryan Ernst, who you got to wonder if the stage is a little bit too big for him so far.
You know, honestly, I'm not sure, Zach. He's done a really good job distributing the ball. He hasn't really taken any shots, and I think that's just going to come with playing time with confidence. But he's done a great job of distributing the ball as a point guard. But let's face the facts here. Jared Valerie is one of Madison Plains' top leading scorers, and they sure are missing him this evening.
Yes, they are. But it's more than just that for Madison Plains. You know, we've talked about they got to get things going here, and with a little over 1 minute here before the second half tips off, Greenon will start off with the basketball as Madison Plains had the last jump ball possession. So Madison Plains, to get back in this thing, they got to get a stop here and get some momentum on their side, because I think a little bit was drowned out of them when all that happened. I think Greenon actually got a little bit fired up on that late half altercation.
Things like that happen. That's usually what happens.
So as this crowd returns from their halftime snacks and restroom breaks, we're getting ready to get things tipped off here.
Coach Stewart really getting his team fired up for the second half.
So Greenon will take the court. Their same lineup as they had to start the ball game. Madison Plains will take the court, and Whitman's out there. So Coach Stewart must have just given him a talk and decided to let him go. Hopefully for Madison Plains, he's got his motions under control, and they're ready to go. Greenon will have the ball to start here on the far sideline inbounding. Anderson will take it. He's going to walk it up, give it off to Rice. Rice getting something set up for Greenon. Rice driving to his right, picks up his dribble back to the top of the key, over to Chaffin on the far side wing. That ball stolen right away from Whitman, and he puts up a layup but misses it too short, and here comes Greenon with the ball. Chaffin kicks ahead, and a layup is blocked, and they're going to call a foul on Holbrook right from the gate, and he's probably going to have to go right back to the bench. That's going to be his fourth foul. That was Logan Kopic who got fouled, and he'll be at the free throw line shooting two. Really unfortunate for Madison Plains is right off the gate.
He looks your best rebounder.
Yeah, he really is. And the first free throw rattles out for Kopic. Into the ball game is Ruzika for Holbrook.
Zach, I think it's just that board down there. Because it seems like all the balls that have rattled in and out tonight have come from that rim down there.
Well, from playing here at Madison Plains back in the day, as the second free throw is missed too, and Chaffin gets the rebound, and Rice is almost blocked, but Greenon corrals it, and down the post, the shot goes up, no good, and that looks like Ian Richardson draws the foul as Chaffin goes over the back, and it'll go back towards Madison Plains. Like I was saying, when I played here back in the day, a couple years ago, both these rims aren't very kind here. They're very stiff. And actually, the one down here on the right that you were talking about was my favorite one, as it has the most give to it.
Sure doesn't seem that way this evening.
So here's Madison Plains with the ball. Greenon back in their 1-3-1. Whitman thinks about a three, gives it off to Ruzika in the lane. He throws up a right-handed shot, and that's just what Madison Plains needed to get started.
That's what they got to do to beat that 1-3-1.
And Madison Plains showing pressure here to start off the half, but Greenon breaks it. Here's Chaffin driving to the hoop. Gives it off down low to Downing. Downing throws up a shot, and the rebound, Greenon. That's Kopic who got the offensive rebound, and he'll dribble it out to the wing, give it off to Anderson. Anderson gets a ball screen, driving, pulls up to the free throw line for a jumper, off the front iron, no good, but another rebound by Greenon, and it's stolen right away from Johnson. Johnson up the far sideline, kicks it to the corner to Whitman. Whitman for three, that's no good. Richardson, they're going to call an over the back on him. What'd you think about that call, Tyler?
That's a little iffy. That's a little iffy. There wasn't a whole lot of contact.
It really wasn't. It was more the fact that it just appeared to be a foul.
Yes.
Madison Plains will show pressure. It looks like a diamond press. Here's the inbounds pass. Over to the far side to Kopic. Greenon breaks it easily. Here's Chaffin. Gives it off to Rice on the near side. Rice over to the corner to Kopic, and he throws up a wild hook shot. No good. Ruzicka knocked to the ground trying to bring up the rebound, but it bounces out to Whitman. Here comes Madison Plains the other way. Johnson throws it opposite side to Tubes. Over to Whitman on the opposite side wing. Whitman driving straight to the basket, and Kyrie Irving-esque throws up a shot, and it goes in. 21-12 here. Madison Plains coming out here getting some points, showing some pressure again. Greenon breaks it. Chaffin dribbling it up the far side. He'll pull it back out, give it out to Anderson. Anderson defended by Johnson, gives it off to Rice. He'll pull up a three at the top to Keish, and that one goes in. I'll tell you what, there's not a whole lot Madison Plains could do there because that was some pretty good defense.
Not just that, they gave it to one of their best shooters on the team.
Yeah.
The freshman.
24-12 here. Madison Plains down by 12. Whitman gives it off to Johnson here. Near side wing, Johnson, near side corner to Tubes. Tubes throws it down the post to Richards, who's wide open and gets fouled. He'll head to the free throw line.
Nice foul, number 34, Logan Kopic. His third.
That's his third foul, Kopic. I think he'll be taking a seat after that one.
Yeah, Kopic's been a big key to these rebounds, offensively and defensively. And here's a timeout by Greenon. 30-second timeout as both teams head to their bench. What have you seen here so far to start the half, Tyler?
First of all, it's the pressure from Madison Plains. It's keeping Greenon on their toes heading into the offensive side. Not giving them a chance to set up anything. That's the major thing. Making them rush their shots, and obviously on the offensive side of the board, things are finally starting to fall a little bit for Madison Plains.
Yeah.
Whitman's really impressed me with his, being able to regain his composure and drive into the middle of the basket like he did on his first points for the game.
Yeah. So Greenon will come out of the timeout. It'll be Logan Kopic shooting the free throw. Madison Plains sitting at 2 fouls already. Greenon as well with 2. Both teams have a couple players in foul trouble. For Greenon, it's Kopic with 3. They're going to leave him in this ballgame, though, but for Madison Plains, Holbrook, their big rebounder, he's on the bench. He picked up an early foul here to start.
He's going to be sitting for a while.
Yeah. So Richards puts up his first free throw, and it's too strong. He really just didn't look comfortable on that one.
No, not at all. That's all right. Just take a deep breath and try again. You get 2 of them.
You do. And on his second one, he gets it to go. 24-13. Madison Plains down to Greenon. Showing pressure here. Diamond press again. And Madison Plains gets a deflection. Ruzicka takes it away, but it's stolen right back away by Anderson for Greenon. Rice kicks it ahead to Chaffin. Far side wing. Down in the post. Kopic. He puts his shoulder down and just plows through Matthew Johnson, but they call a foul on Johnson. I don't know about that one there. That looks pretty offensive. The crowd obviously doesn't like it, as most of them Madison Plains here.
That's 3 on Johnson.
Yeah.
There's been a few times this evening that these referees have gotten fouls on wrong guys.
So they change it on Johnson and call it on Logan Tubes. Apparently he was reaching in there. Or excuse me, not Logan, Jacob Tubes.
That's Tubes first.
Greenon will inbounds underneath on the far side. Anderson gets it into Kopic. Kopic back to Anderson, far side corner, defended by Johnson. He gets a ball screen, throws it down to Kopic on a pick and roll. Nice execution there for Greenon. So Johnson will bring it up the court for Madison Plains. Greenon still in that 1-3-1. Here's a pass to the corner. Ruzicka for 3. That's off the side of the backboard. Rebound brought down by Greenon. Logan Shell with the board for Greenon. Here comes Anderson up the court. Gives it off to Chaffin. Chaffin driving, gives it off to Kopic over to Anderson. Anderson will tee one up from deep, and he swishes it. Boy, Greenon's really come out here just firing, making all their shots here and stopping Madison Plains' runs. Here's Ruzicka in the corner, skip pass over to Johnson, nearly thrown out of bounds. Whitman will tee up a three from the corner, and that's off the other side of the rim and off the hands of Ruzicka, who wasn't expecting it to come off that strong, and it'll go out of bounds back towards Greenon.
It's unbelievable how cold Madison Plains is this evening.
And I think that's all on Greenon. They're just playing excellent offense, or defense, excuse me. Here's Anderson all the other way and draws an and one. Ian Richardson picks up the foul for Madison Plains, and he talks with his teammate Ruzicka. He really didn't like that call at all.
His feet were set. That's his third.
And the rule of verticality, he was straight up, set, but they're called on him anyway. That's the way things go when you're on a roll here.
Yes, sir.
31-13, Greenon ahead. Anderson at the free throw line. He makes the free throw. 4:08 here in the third. It's been all Greenon from the tip. Johnson bringing it up the far side, gives it off to Whitman in the corner. Here's a skip pass to Toops. He thinks about a three, gives it over to Johnson. Johnson driving to his left and loses the ball to Downing. Downing being chased from behind by Toops. Good job, and Toops runs back and forces him to miss the layup. And the rebound was brought down by Richardson. And they'll call foul on Chaffin. Richardson really... Go ahead.
Picked up a second foul.
Yeah. Richardson did a good job ripping that ball down and chinning it, staying strong with the ball, and he draws the foul on Chaffin and Greenon.
That's why you never give up on a play.
4 fouls for Madison Plains, 3 for Greenon. Here's Toops on the near side corner with the ball. Skip pass over to Johnson, over the corner to Whitman, back to Toops. Toops in the paint to Richardson. Richardson kicks it over the corner to Whitman. He'll kick it down the short corner to Ruzicka. Now here's the pass thrown down low. It's stolen by Greenon, and a pass by Greenon is thrown as Whitman gets on the floor to try to get the ball. They call a foul on him. He wasn't too happy about that call.
No, not at all. That's his third, but he's got to know he's got to keep his composure. He's on a short leash.
Yeah, he's already got a technical so far.
One more and he's gone.
Short leash by Coach Stewart and by the referees. Here's Anderson with the ball at the far side corner. Gives it off to Chaffin. Over to Anderson, who's left wide open but misses the three. Rebound brought down by Downing and put in. Boy, it seems like Madison Plains has lost a little bit of their mojo here.
Sure.
As Coach Stewart calls a timeout, and Greenon fans and the bench for Greenon is on their feet.
Yeah, Mike Johnson, you can just see it in his face. You can tell the momentum's just out of Madison Plains right at the moment. They got to start making a couple shots and bring this back into...
Right. And playing defense, because the first half they played pretty well defense, but out here in the second half, they're really letting Greenon run all over them.
That shows what happened here. Yeah. So it's just impressive that Greenon is... It's just impressive that Greenon is doing what they're doing.
Yeah. So Madison Plains still confused by Greenon's defense, but they've really lost a lot of energy and not playing well here. Coach Stewart calling a timeout, hoping to get his guys back regrouping together.
That's going to be the key. They've got to stay together here, and they really have to start making some shots here. That's what's going to bring the momentum back to them, is they have to start getting some of these shots to fall. They're doing exactly what we said would help them, is getting the ball inside. They've been really effective getting the ball inside and able to bounce it back out to try to get some open shots.
So for Madison Plains, at the moment, they're on pace for the lowest scoring total they've had all year, sitting at 13 points right now, but they're starting off here with the ball. 3:03 to go here in the third quarter, 34-13, Greenon over Madison Plains. Johnson bringing the ball up the far side, gives it off to the corner to Whitman, back to Johnson, over the far side to Toops. Toops over to Johnson. He'll jack up a three from deep. That's left short, but he'll come up with the rebound on the other side of half court. Now he's bringing the ball back up to court, driving, and they're going to call a foul on Greenon. They're going to call that on Shell. Logan Shell, the senior.
His first.
Sub for Greenon. Into the ball game is Cameron Patterson. To the bench goes Kopic. Madison Plains will take it out of bounds. Inbound to Spencer Rizika. Going up strong to the ball and laying it in is Rizika. He's got 9 for the night. Here's Greenon over the full court press of Madison Plains. Downing with the ball at the middle, and they break the press. Anderson now has the ball, calling a play for Greenon. Thumbs up, he calls. There's a pass to the free throw line and a wide open back cutter, but he misses the layup. That was Patterson, who just came in the game. Madison Plains brings the rebound down. Now here they come. Johnson with the ball. Kick to the corner. It's deflected and will go out of bounds, but will remain with Madison Plains. Madison Plains taking it out underneath here on the near side. Johnson will inbound to the corner to Toops. Whitman. Back to the corner to Johnson. Over to Whitman here on the near side wing. Whitman backing it out, being harassed by Shell. Here's Toops, gives it off to Johnson, back over to Toops. 1:53 to go here in the third quarter. Here's the pass over to Toops, over to the corner to Whitman. Whitman will shoot a 3, and it rattles around but doesn't go in. Boy, that's been the story of most of his shots tonight. They're rolling around, nearly going in and bouncing right back out. So here's Chaffin with the ball at the top of the key. He'll set something up for Greenon. Driving to the basket, and Whitman tries to take a charge. Not enough contact, but Richardson will bring the rebound down for Madison Plains. Here's the pass to the corner, and Rizika loses it out of bounds, but it's off Chaffin.
Madison Plains very fortunate that the elbow call wasn't called there.
Yeah. Here's Whitman, skips it over to Toops. He'll throw it down low to Rizika. He tips it around, and they're going to call a foul on the floor against Greenon. That wasn't a great pass, but a good job there by Rizika to keep it alive and draw a foul.
That was a heads-up play because he was open for a split second down under.
Yeah. So the foul will be called on Cooper Chaffin, excuse me, and he'll head to the bench. Into the ball game comes Jackson Journell.
Greenon's starting to get some guys into foul trouble here. They've got 2 of them with 3 fouls.
Here's a pass to the corner to Whitman. He'll tee up a 3. That's too strong and catches nothing but air. Here comes Greenon on the fast break. Journell will put it up with his right and just misses the rim. He put it up way too strong, probably too wide open on that one. Here comes Madison Plains. Johnson driving to the lane, throws up a shot, and will go to the free throw line. It'll be Luke Downing picking up the foul. That's his second foul.
16 fouls now for Greenon.
Johnson's first free throw is up, and it's no good.
You got to make those.
Especially when you're not getting it, away from the free throw line. Shots aren't falling for you. These are right here ones with no one in your face. So the second free throw is up and swished home by Johnson. 34-16, under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Madison Plains needs to get on a run if they're going to get back in this thing. Anderson's picked up full court by Toops. And he crosses half court, setting something up for Greenon. Gives it off to the far side. Logan Shell with the ball, gives it off to Journell. He's being defended tightly by Ernst. Anderson gives it off back to Shell, defended by Richardson. Shell gives it off to the near side, back to him. 25 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Greenon looks to just be home for the last shot. Here's Journell with the ball, defended tightly by Ernst.
The young guy really getting some good defense in.
Yeah, here's a pass down low, but it nearly stolen by Plains. And Downing picks it up, goes to the rim, no good, rebound Richardson. Madison Plains going to have a shot at the last shot.
Got to get down there.
Here's Rizika with the ball. He'll tee it up from deep and no good. Rebound Anderson. He'll throw up a three-quarter foot shot, and it catches nothing but air. So we'll head to the fourth quarter, 34-16, Greenon over Madison Plains.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today, 855-OCU-GRAD, or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
All right, Tyler, what did you see by both teams there in the third quarter?
Greenon shooting's improved.
Yeah.
They definitely come out after half here ready to rock and roll and getting some points scored. Same story for Madison Plains. It's been the first three quarters. Just they've gotten a few to fall. Their leading scorer with 9 points is Rizika, Spencer Rizika, the junior. He's leading the team this evening. Another thing I noticed too is that Greenon's starting to get into some foul trouble here. Madison Plains has already had a couple in foul trouble, but it could go a long way with Greenon starting to have to sit some guys.
So both teams will take the court for the start of the fourth quarter. For Madison Plains, Holbrook's back in the game. They have Richardson, Rizika, Toops, and Whitman into the game. Madison Plains will have the ball to start the third. Toops gives it off to Whitman here. Whitman, top the keys, makes a spin move into the paint, up and under, but it's blocked out of bounds off Kopic, and it will remain with Madison Plains.
That's fantastic defense by Greenon.
But a really nice move there by Whitman to get in the paint. But for Greenon, they just all collapse on the ball. That's been the story of the night. They're not letting shots around the rim go down. Here's Whitman in the corner, pump fakes it. Gives it off to Rizika at the wing. Back to Whitman. Whitman left wide open. And there goes a three for Madison Plains. Boy, that's big to start this fourth quarter. Madison Plains showing pressure. Here's the ball at the top of the key, but a man left wide open, downing underneath, and a breakdown in Madison Plains defense as a wide open layup is allowed. Here comes Whitman. Whitman kicks it over to Toops. Toops gives it to the corner to Richardson. Back to Toops, over to Whitman on the far side. Whitman will pass fake and shoots a three. There's his second consecutive three. Madison Plains starting to make some shots. 36-22, 7 minutes to go here in the fourth. Here's Anderson, near side, gets a ball screen. Gives it over to Kopic. Kopic driving to his right. He tries to make a reverse layup, but it's no good. Rebound tipped around back to Kopic. He can't get it to go again, and the rebound brought down by Whitman. So here comes Whitman bringing the ball up the court. He's spacing the offense out. Thinks about pulling up. Gives it down to Holbrook. Holbrook throws up a shot and one! Holbrook just caught that thing in the paint, turned around and threw it up with his right hand, and gets it to go plus the free throw.
Trevor Anderson drawed the foul there, his first. Madison Plains finally showing some life.
Yeah. And the free throw skied up and in. Madison Plains showing a press, 36-25. The lead down to 11 for Greenon. Here's Kopic. Driving to the basket, kick to the short corner, Downing. He puts up a jumper, but it's too strong. Chaffin comes down with a rebound for Greenon. Here's Rice. He'll give it back to the top of the key to Anderson. And Greenon will call a timeout. Boy, Madison Plains showing some life here in the fourth quarter, but could it be a little bit too late?
Only down 11. Anything can happen with 6:15 left to go in this ball game. And of course, Madison Plains is already in the bonus. So if they can draw some fouls here, it's going to be huge if they drop free throws only down 11.
Yeah, I think that press has kind of sped Greenon up a little bit.
It sure has.
And this timeout probably is going to try to settle them down for Greenon, and their coach telling them to slow it down a little bit and milk some of this clock as they're up 11 against this Madison Plains team who has struggled all night shooting.
Well, they have to start getting the ball back to their playmakers down on the offensive side of the board. Cade Rice hasn't scored a point yet this half, which is really surprising.
And he really hasn't been in there that much. And also another player who has had 6 points here in the second half but has kind of been quiet is Trevor Anderson, who we talked about earlier. He had a big night last game against Greenview.
He's not having too bad of a night. He's got 9 points on the night. Excuse me, 8 points.
So Greenon will take it out on their side of the court, sideline out of bounds. They set a stack and get it into Rice. Rice throws it down low to Downing. Makes a move, right-handed shot, and just put it right up and in. Madison Plains doesn't send a double there, and Rice lays it in. Whitman coming back, thinks about a three, gives it off to Holbrook. Holbrook puts up a shot, and it's no good. He turned around quickly and shot a fadeaway jumper. Here comes Greenon with the basketball. Chaffin has it. Chaffin refuses the screen, kicks it out to Anderson, who's left wide open, and there is a big shot from Anderson. 41-25. And Whitman will pull it from NBA range, too strong, rebound brought down by Toops. That's not the kind of shot Madison Plains is looking for. Whitman kicks to the corner to Ruzicka. Ruzicka passes it and it's deflected, picked up by Whitman. Whitman tried to throw it past to Ruzicka, but it's picked up down low by Holbrook. He puts one up, gets his own rebound, puts it up again, and will head to the free throw line. Boy, Holbrook down low is a fighter, and it's a shame he's been out most of this game in foul trouble.
With 4 fouls, yes.
Yeah. You can guarantee that when this kid throws it up, he's going up for his rebound again. And for Madison Plains, it's really just throw it up on the glass and try to get an offensive rebound here to get to the free throw line. Shot by Holbrook's too strong.
Kopic just drew his 4th foul.
Yeah, so Kopic will head to the bench, and in for him is Cameron Patterson.
Whitman has to be really careful with a pass like that. A little bit too strong, and a referee could really deem that as being intentional.
Holbrook, second free throw is up, and too strong again. Richardson tries for the rebound, no good, and brought down by Greenon. Chaffin walking the ball up. He's going to be defended by Ruzicka. Over to Rice. Rice calling for Greenon to set some offense up. He gets a ball screen. Gives it off to Downing. Over to Chaffin. Chaffin driving, and it's blocked by Ruzicka, but corralled by Greenon.
Good defense by Madison Plains, corralling on the ball down low.
Here's Anderson driving, kicking it off to Rice. Chaffin thinks about a three. He's driving to the basket. He'll kick it out to Patterson. Over the near side to Anderson. And here's Rice left wide open at the top of the key, but it's left short on the three-point attempt, and there's going to be a foul on Greenon, and Richardson will head back the other way and shoot free throws in the bonus.
Cameron Patterson with his first.
Yeah. And so Madison Plains will only be shooting the 1-and-1 here, as they're one foul. Greenon is one foul away from forcing that 2 for Madison Plains.
And 19 fouls. These are important foul shots now for Madison Plains. They really have to drain these.
Yeah. Richardson takes a breath at the free throw line. And his free throw is up and almost is an air ball. Barely catches rim. Greenon will have possession of the basketball. Anderson walking the ball up the court. And it's stolen right back from Richardson up the near sideline. Nearly carried it. Gives it off to Whitman. Whitman driving to the middle. Throws up a wild shot. Rebound brought down by Rice after it was tipped around. Rice will give it off to Patterson. He'll put up a layup and good. 43-25 here. Greenon taken off. Toops pull up three, nearly banks it in, but it's rebounded by Richardson for Plains. He'll give it off to Whitman. Whitman will shoot another three. That's too strong. Rebound brought down by Toops. Shot out of, puts it back up, and it's knocked out of bounds off Ruzicka and will go back towards Greenon. And Madison Plains will call a timeout to talk things over. It's getting a little late here for Madison Plains, down 18.
They're finally starting to show a little bit of life. I know it seems like it could be a little too late, but one thing you could take away from this game so far is that the rebounding that Madison Plains has done has just been fantastic. They're scrapping for the ball, which is what you want to see from a team, especially when they're down, because it creates extra opportunities. The more opportunities you can get, the better, even if they don't fall.
Mm-hmm. So Greenon, once Madison Plains was going on a run, they had their own answer as a couple turnovers, and then Madison Plains went cold again and couldn't get things going again and has no answer so far for Greenon's run. With 3:46 left to go here in the fourth, Greenon is up 43-25. Low-scoring ball game on both ends. A lot of defense being played, a lot of scrappiness going on. But Greenon really, from after the first quarter, has been all over Madison Plains tonight.
Especially on the offensive side. That's so far that's been the key. I mean, both teams have been playing really fantastic defense when you look at it. Obviously, as you've seen from the heads-up play that Ian Richardson had there to get the steal, those kind of things are what you want to see from a team. If you're going to look at the film and take away, is the defense that each team's played has been fantastic this evening.
So Greenon will inbound it. They'll have the length of the court to go. Madison Plains showing pressure. Up the near sideline is Chaffin. He'll get off to Rice here in the front court. Here's Patterson on the ball, gives it back off to Rice. Madison Plains is going to have to show pressure or else Greenon's just going to keep holding the ball. And they do come up with the steal as Whitman.
Boy, that would have looked pretty. No look pass.
Here's Whitman, gives it off to Toops here on the near side wing. He'll give it to the corner to Razika. Razika, cross court pass to Whitman, nearly sailed over his head. Back to Razika, and he's left all alone, but loses the ball, and he had a wide open layup. Now here's Whitman, he'll jack up a three, and that's good. Whitman's come alive here in the second half, 11 points. Here's Greenon with the ball. Downing gives it off to Anderson. Far side. He calls for a play. On the near side, here's Patterson with the basketball. Top of the key to Downing. Chaffin gets the ball, driving, kicks off to Anderson. Anderson in between his legs, step back, jumper, nails it. Wow, that was a pretty shot and move by Anderson.
That looks like Kobe Bryant out there.
Yeah, he's wearing the same number. And here's a pass down low to Holbrook, but it was deflected, or it was touched by Chaffin as he had a foot on the line. So it'll stay with Madison Plains. Subs for Greenon into the ball game is Dylan Bardnell. And also into the ball game is Jernell. Madison Plains taking it out of bounds underneath the basket here on the near side. Here's a pass to the corner. Whitman left all alone, but he misses the three. Rebound brought down by none other than Holbrook. But he puts it up and it rattles out. Boy, it doesn't matter what end of the court for Madison Plains. They just can't get him to fall tonight. Here's Rice with the ball. He gives it off to Bardnell. Bardnell gives it off to Anderson at the top of the key over to Rice. Rice driving baseline, puts it up over Holbrook. And good defense there by Madison Plains. Forces him in.
Got to go.
Here's Toops bringing it up for MP. Gives it off the corner to Razika. He'll fire from deep and makes it.
His second three tonight.
Boy, yeah. And here's a timeout by Greenon as Madison Plains has cut the lead down to 14, 45-31 with a minute and 51 gone here. But for Madison Plains, it might be too late unless they start forcing some turnovers, and they're going to have to probably work their way back in this game with either free throws or threes. What do you say, Tyler?
That's exactly right, but I tell you what, don't say that to Ian Richards right at the moment because he's down there getting his team fired up. He really believes that they're still in it, which they really are. I mean, they're down 14 here with a minute and 51 seconds left. You get you 3 threes and you're right back into it.
Yeah,
that's only 3 possessions and they can go quick.
Yeah, Richardson really an emotional leader for Madison Plains. You know, he doesn't always fill the stat sheet up, but after playing with this guy and seeing him now today, he's a really good leader for this team. And also Holbrook coming in and really providing some good rebounding. And when you get offensive rebounds, that provides a lot of energy for your team. And Holbrook has certainly done that tonight.
There's no question about it. I tell you what, you need to get that guy some football pads and put him at a tight end with those hands.
Yeah, right?
There's nothing getting away from him this evening as far as the basketball goes. I'd be willing to bet he's got to be pushing 15 rebounds this evening.
So for Greenon, they'll put their lineup back out on the court. Have a few backups in here. Madison Plains still with their main guys in. Ernst enters the ball game for Madison Plains.
I tell you what, Zach, he's impressed me this evening with his defense.
Yeah. There's a press by Madison Plains, trapping in the near side corner. Conover gets out of it, pass from Shell, and it's nearly stolen by Madison Plains. Here comes Anderson, gives it off, and it's no good on the layup. That shot was by Bardnell. Here's Madison Plains. Razika driving to the basket, puts it up, no good. And Ernst brings down the rebound. Little Ernst in the midst of all those guys brings down the rebound for Madison Plains. Whitman with the ball at the top of the key, throws it to the corner to Toops. He thinks about it, throws it over to Whitman. Whitman will jack one up, rolls out. Rebound tried to put up and in by Richardson, but it's stolen by Madison Plains. Pass down to Richardson. He puts it up, no good. Richardson with his own rebound and puts it in. Timeout by Madison Plains. 45-33 here with 1:09 remaining. Madison Plains down 12. Tyler, what is Madison Plains going to have to do to get themselves back into this thing? They're still down 12 and only have a minute to go.
Keep making shots. That's all you can do. Yeah. Keep making shots, drive the boards, try to get Greenon to draw some fouls here, get to the line, get those free, easy shots without the time being wasted. That's going to be the key. And obviously, vice versa for Greenon is don't foul, but you have to continue to play aggressive defense to keep Madison Plains from having easy shots.
Mm-hmm. And obviously for Madison Plains being down 12 here with just over a minute to go, you know, you see this kind of game go to Greenon a lot of times, but crazier things have happened, and there's still life with Madison Plains. They just got to make some shots.
At this point in the game, it's a four-possession game if you want to go by three-point standards here. So it's very well possible, especially when you have a guy like Jeffrey Whitman on the outside who can nail the threes at any given moment.
And Green is just really leaving Whitman open, and that's been a reason why Madison Plains has got back into this ball game.
So far, yes. They're keeping a lot of the guys on the inside to keep from getting the easy baskets on the inside.
So coming out of this timeout, there's a press by Madison Plains, but Greenon quickly breaks it. With the ball as Barnell gives it off to Anderson. Madison Plains looking to foul. Here's Shell with the basketball, and he's fouled by Richardson. That'll only be Madison Plains' 16th foul, so they have one more to go until Greenon's in the bonus.
Richards has to be careful here. That's his fourth foul. They really need him down the stretch here.
Greenon taking it out here on the near side. Everyone left Shell wide open to get the ball in bounds. Now somebody's going to have to foul him. Down 12 here. Richardson not wanting to pick up the foul because that would be his fifth, as you mentioned. So it'll be Ryan Ernst coming over to pick up the foul on Anderson. He'll head to the free throw line for the 1-and-1.
That's Ernst first. He can take a couple.
But unfortunately for Madison Plains, Anderson to the line. He's a pretty good free throw shooter. And he makes the first one, which really doesn't help Madison Plains out as well.
No, not at all.
That's Anderson's 15 points. He's got 15 tonight. He's really come alive here in the second half.
He was very quiet the first half.
And the second free throw hits the front rim and goes in.
Madison Plains got to hurry.
47-33, Greenon over Madison Plains, and they throw it out of bounds. The freshman Ernst.
That'll pretty much do it for Madison Plains right there.
They're obviously still going to show fight here, showing press. You wonder how much more Madison Plains is going to foul to get back in this thing. They're going to try to trap the first pass, and nearly stolen. Here's Shell with the basketball, still in the backcourt, back-tipped out of bounds for Madison Plains.
Well, you never want to give up. Even when there's 40 seconds left to go in the game, you don't ever want to give up.
Right, right. Greenon taking it out of bounds. Madison Plains still showing a press. Cross-court pass over to Anderson. Anderson over, and there will be a travel on Jackson Jurnell. He wanted to pass it. Madison Plains cut his passing lane off, and he just didn't maintain his pivot foot. So we'll go back to Madison Plains with 35.8 seconds, down 14. Here's Ernst. Madison Plains is going to have to go if they want to get back in this thing. Ernst gives it off to Whitman. Whitman thinks about it. Here's Ernst. Ernst driving to the basket. Gives it off to Richardson. Richardson spins up with the left. No good. Rebound brought down by Anderson. And he nearly gets it stolen from behind by Ernst. Ernst still down playing defense on Anderson. Anderson gets it across half court. Madison Plains still playing hard though. Here's a kick to the Patterson. 8 seconds left to go. Madison Plains is just going to concede this thing, and Greenon is going to come out of here a couple days before Christmas with the victory on the road here at Madison Plains. Final score 47-33. We'll be back to break it down.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian University, one of the nation's fastest growing nonprofit universities. Earn an accredited associate, bachelor, or master's degree entirely online, or attend class once a week at one of 11 convenient locations. Programs range from business and human services to IT and RN to BSN and more. Call today 855-OCU-GRAD or on the web at enroll.ohiochristian.edu.
back here at Madison Plains. But it was Greenon coming away with the victory, 47-33. Tyler, what happened in this thing?
Well, obviously the headline story is definitely going to be Madison Plains' cold hands this evening. There's no question about that. From the get-go, they were cold from the start. They started to pick it up a little bit here in the second half. Jeffrey Whitman really came alive in the second half, especially after that little tiff he had after that technical foul at mid-court. He was able to knock down 3 threes here in the second half. He ended up with 10 points to finish off the game for Madison Plains, and he was their leading scorer for this evening. On the opposite side was Greenon's able to defeat Madison Plains' defense and able to get some points going. That was the big key. Really for Greenon, able to get Trevor Anderson in the ballgame in the second half is what helped them tremendously. He ended up leading Greenon in all scores with 15 points to end the game. So, and of course we talked about it where he led the team last week, or the previous game with 29 points. So for him to come in and do what he did in the second half is the main reason why Greenon was able to pull away. But for Madison Plains, there's a lot of good that they can take from this ball game. Defense was a big one. They played very scrappy, good defense this evening.
Yeah, and for Madison Plains, from the start, there was just a lid on that basket. Nothing was going in for them, and it really didn't change as the game went on.
No, not at all. The first half, it was unbelievable because it seemed like there was just a ghost underneath that basket, just batting the ball back out of the net. A lot of them were in and out, so but in the game of basketball, that happens. So you keep shooting until they fall.
But with all due respect to Greenon, they played outstanding defense. Madison Plains played some good defense, but Greenon, really better defense on the night with that 1-3 zone and switching up to some man-to-man a little bit.
It sure did confuse Madison Plains an awful lot. A lot of tossing the ball around, a lot of double takes and where to throw the ball to and trying to get into the inside basket. So for Madison Plains, it's just back to the drawing board and practice on that 1-3-1 because teams will see this.
Right. Madison Plains as well as Greenon will get a couple days off here. Christmas Eve on Sunday night. Monday night, Christmas, and then for Madison Plains, it'll be the Holiday Classic. They'll head into next week at Miami Trace, where it will be a 4-team tournament battling for that championship that we see every single year. And for Madison Plains, we mentioned Jarrett Valerie wasn't playing from the start of the game, so a freshman, Ryan Ernst, had to come in and take his place. How do you think Ernst played tonight?
I tell you what, he's pretty much absent on the stat book other than one foul, but his defense and his ability to control and distribute the ball from the point guard position this evening, for the young guy, it's pretty impressive. Even down here toward the end of the game late, we've seen him down in the middle of all the big guys scrapping for a rebound. For a young guy, that's what it takes is heart. That's what gets you more playing time. And we're going to see quite a few more minutes out of him as the season rolls along. But Madison Plains really needs Valerie back in his hands. So
we'll see how fast Valerie comes back from the sprained ankle. And really, it's been a season for him that started off with the elbow, then the ankle. So Madison Plains, but this is going to help Madison Plains. They're going to have to learn to play without Valerie because you never know what happens down the stretch of the season. It's a long season for them.
Yes, it is.
But I think tonight they were pretty lucky that one of their better players, Jeffrey Whitman, didn't get tossed from this ball game.
He hadn't sitting out 2 more games after this, which would have took him away from the Holiday Classic tournament totally. You like to see heart and hustle out of guys, especially your seniors on leadership, but you can't lose your composure. That's the main thing, and that's what you look for in your seniors is composure. So he was able to get hot, but he has to maintain it and be ready to move on and just move away from what happened this evening.
Yeah, it was a chippy one between both teams from the start. Low-scoring affair as Greenon comes away with this one tonight here at Madison Plains. For Zach Bayless, excuse me there, we messed up a little bit.
Tyler Curtis here.
And Zach Bayless, we are signing off here from Madison Plains.
Begin the next step of your life at Ohio Christian